Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So as the title suggests, Tasi has actually been nerfed with the recent hotfix. So this is technically old news, but I totally left this out because of Sonia's release as well as other contents in the making. But I decided to talk about this because this would probably cause Tasi to be a unit that you want to swap out with your S level swap ticket. So do take this into consideration because this is quite important. So right here on the November 27th hotfix, Fairy of Dreams Tasi fixed an issue where ultimate power did not correctly enhance the ultimate cast by Tasi's shadow when she carried the Light Bearer faction talent, causing the control effects to be shorter than intended. So for this one, it is something to do with the magical charm set buff, which increases ultimate power, which is relevant to the ultimate skill control duration. So this is a buff. Okay, but what's important is the subsequent fix where there's an issue where the Light Bearer faction talent effect would trigger an additional time when carried by Tasi, and if her ultimate was interrupted before the animation ended, causing the enemies to be controlled for an excessive amount of time. So how excessive is this, right? So this will change. And how excessive was this? Later on, they did send another news article, which I'll be including on screen right now, with regards to Tasi skill anomaly issue handling instructions. So the English is a little bit off there. I don't know what it exactly means, but what it means is Tasi's ultimate animation or ultimate casting together with the Light Bearer factional tile combo was unintended. Because right here, Dear Lord Merlin, in the November 27 update, we fixed an issue regarding Tasi's skill that could cause Tasi to potentially unleash 2 additional ultimate skills when used as a Light Bearer Prime Carrier, and could also lead to a more serious issue in the future with subsequent new game content. So there was a change to Tasi and people were not happy, right? Therefore, they mentioned, however, because of our poor consideration, we have overlooked the important role of Tasi's play overlook the important role Tasi plays in player level pushing during the current season, making the PvE experience for players more affected after the fix. To ensure a smooth gameplay experience, we have reverted the fix for Tasi's skill issue in certain modes, and Tasi's skill now functions as it did before the fix of these modes in the AFK stages as well as the Dura's Trial. In addition, the other fix about the ultimate attribute not enhancing the control duration of the extra release of the Light Bearer talent effect is still valid and will not be affected. We apologize for any inconvenience caused and thank you for your understanding and support. So, paragraph 1 mentions that there was a change to Tasi, nerfing her by quite a bit for the usual use with Light Bearer factional talent, and they sort of reverted the change to how it is right now, or how we used to know for Tasi with regards to the Light Bearer combo itself for the AFK stages as well as the Dura's Trial. So why is this a nerf? Why is this a massive hit to Tasi? So some of you guys might be wondering, so what's this additional cast gonna matter to Tasi? Like, isn't Tasi just a unit that casts the ultimate and Rowan will come in and charge her ultimate and she will be able to spam her skill, do a lot of damage and control? Yes and no. So yes, because a major part of her damage output and control actually comes from the ultimate duration. So having the additional skill power on the illusion cast of the Light Bearer factional talent is decent to extend the control duration such that you are able to hold the enemies in place for longer. But Tasi's main damage source comes from 2 compartments in tandem with the ultimate. Number 1, one of her main damage source is Dream Dance, which consumes her own HP to do additional damage to the enemies wherever she is. So it's like a butterfly flying around with that, mini pulsing effect as she's moving around after she casts the ultimate itself. On top of that, if you take a look at the Shimmering Dust, which is the EX weapon skill over here, she gains additional haste 130 at EX 15, as well as extra penetration, as well as reduces damage taken by 90% for 5 seconds after casting her Eternal Dreamscape. So being able to cast the Eternal Dreamscape, there is this like dancing animation of her dancing around using the Eternal Dreamscape, and then if she's able to cast 2 additional times, she will go through this dancing animation, and this will effectively extend this buff duration to more than 5 seconds, right? So this is insanely crazy because this is one of her main damage source and why she's really broken as well in terms of damage output. Okay, so to sort of prove the change itself, let us just run through actual battle so that we can understand what's the error there. So if we base it off the Light Bearer factional talent right here, Echoing Radiance, when the Prime Carrier casts the ultimate, they summon a shadow that casts the ultimate again. The shadow inherits only 80% of the Prime Carrier's attack, but 100% of the other stats, along with an extra penetration. Okay, so after Tasi uses the ultimate, there should be just one shadow casting the ultimate again. So let us just run through this battle to see whether or not that's the case. So the note actually mentioned that there was this 2 additional ultimate casts. So we shall see how it works here, because usually we don't pay attention too much to this. But let's just run through the ultimate casting as well as the animation. Okay, so we're resonating spell on Tasi right here. And as you guys can see, Tasi is about to use her ultimate. She gets a massive haste buff, and then she summons the shadow right here. So this shadow has this dancing animation 1 time, and then another time. Oh, okay, so that's what they meant. I see. Okay, so you can see that as she's casting the ultimate, she gets the buff itself. So when the illusion casts the ultimate, I think she also gets the buff, or the shadow casting the ultimate, she also gets the buff, because on top of getting the buff itself, the ultimate dealing damage also charges up her energy for the next use itself. So those are the reasons why the multiple cast is really broken. Okay, so I think this was an unintended interaction, because my guess is that the second ultimate actually came from the skill over here. Yeah, when the Prime Carrier is defeated, a shadow remains and inherits the Prime Carrier's energy. So this shadow will gain 100 energy per second to cast another cast of ultimate. So by right, it should just be a 1 Tasi, 1 shadow ultimate cast, but apparently it became a 2 ultimate cast itself. So that's why there was this bug or this unintended mechanics. Okay, so I think they fixed they reverted the change for the AFK stage push itself. But for the Supreme Arena side, I also did a run over here, and let's take a look at what Tasi did here, whether or not this was also reverted in the Supreme Arena side. Okay, so we are charging the energy, so let's just speed up to the point where my Tasi has the energy charge up. Okay, so right here her energy is charged up, she's about to use the ultimate. So pay attention to the bottom left hand side. Tasi comes up, uses the ultimate. This is the main body using ultimate, so she jumps. So the illusion uses the ultimate again. Okay, jumps back. And there's another cast. Okay, so it's still a double cast in the Supreme Arena side. So 1 copy, 1 time. Okay, another time, the shadow. Right, another time, as you guys can see right here. So there's a delay, but the shadow still pops up. So I think this double cast is still active even in the Supreme Arena side. So I guess in general for this season itself, she hasn't been reverted too much, right? So if you were to sort of use her for this season, you still probably wouldn't feel the change. But right, in upcoming season, I think this was an unintended interaction which made Tasi more powerful than she used to be. So I guess if you take this into consideration, in the next season, if she doesn't have this OP interaction, the S level swap ticket could actually be reserved for her, because I mean, she doesn't actually lose too much, but then like every bit of ultimate cast is quite game changing for her. So we shall see whether or not this ticket will be used on her for the next season moving forward, based on what is the intended mechanism for Tasi's ultimate itself. So that's it for this video. Do know that, there's this change for her, and this was unintended, or whatever we are using her with right now with the Light Bearer Tower is unintended, and this will definitely be changed in the upcoming season itself. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.